Hello and welcome everyone to Last Level Press. I am Mr. Black and I know I'm late. I'm always late with these, but we have crested 500 subscribers here on the channel, and that is awesome. Thank every single one of you guys so very much from the bottom of my heart and from Violita's and Daddy. Do you guys realize that most channels, gaming channels in particular, don't ever even make it this far? Gaming channels tend to run their course somewhere in between 200 or 300 subscribers for a variety of different reasons, and yet here we sit at 500 and we are accelerating faster than ever these days, and it is all thanks to you guys. We are going somewhere, and this is not my victory. This is ours, as much yours as it is any of ours here at Last Level Press. This is a community milestone, because I know for a hard and fast fact that the expansion we've seen recently has come largely due to a lot of you guys sharing our material around, even old episodes like some of the old Atheris Ascended content, around to various forums, community groups, social media, because you've enjoyed it. And that is what is moving us forward. I've said it before. In fact, I said it in, I think, the last vlog. I think that was where I really coined this metaphor, but I've really come to enjoy it because it really encapsulates the way I look at it. That I may be the captain at the helm here at Last Level Press, but you guys are the ones rowing the oars. You're the ones doing the real work, so thank each and every one of you, even for just viewing. Because as I mentioned last time, that in and of itself helps us. So thank each and every one of you guys for everything that you do. But there are special thanks in order to several of you guys, because 5 of you decided over the last several months that not only were we worth watching, subscribing to, sharing our channel, and helping us grow, but donating games to the channel for. So, despite the fact that I have started a credits thread of sorts to say thank you to these people on the Last Level forum, which I will link below, so having recently launched that, I know some of you guys here on the YouTube end of things haven't caught word of that, so consider this the official announcement and invitation that the Last Level forum, let's see if I can even pronounce the name of our own forum here, it is launched, it is live, and all of you guys are welcome to come and join us. We've already got a few regular members showing up. It's less than 10 of us now, so it's a little quiet, but we're still getting some good activity rolling already, and I would love to see the rest of you guys join us. But anyway, despite the fact that I have started a thread there to credit these guys, I want to do so on screen so that everybody knows who is awesome amongst this community. Awesome amongst awesome, truly. A really prestigious thing. Now, several of you guys have decided that we were worth donating just straight cash to, so I'll address that right away. I know cash donators tend to be a little bit more, I suppose, private. They want to be a little bit more anonymous, so I know one of them messaged me very privately about it. I don't know whether or not he wants to be named, so I will not, but you know who you are, who also introduced me to the Patreon service, which I will also link below, and I'll address a little bit more later on, but he donated $20 to us. Our first cash donation came from one of our OGs here on the channel, Jack, who found us worthy of donating $10 to, which I immediately reinvested into another game which I've been wanting to get my hands on for content for the channel, Turbo Dismount, which a lot of you guys have really been enjoying. And our first game donation came from one of our stream regulars, who was also a very good Fallout New Vegas modder, Mr. Grendel of Sjálfgrund, let's see if I can actually pronounce that, who donated Dark Souls Prepare to Die edition to me. And yes, that Let's Play is indeed still on the way. We've just run into some roadblocks in actually getting our hands upon a gamepad for me to do so because of the absolutely atrocious keyboard controls for the game. But yes, that is still coming. It's just taking a little bit longer to get set up than I thought it was going to. One of our other regulars, Wasker Lara, also decided that we were worth donating DLC Quest and Left 4 Dead 2 to. So look forward to a little bit more of the latter than the former. We played most of DLC Quest on stream a couple of weeks ago. I don't know whether or not that stream got properly archived. Twitch has been rather inconsistent with that lately. So if you guys do want to see our fun with that, feel free to go and search. I may clarify in the description below whether or not that did in fact get archived, or whether or not that'll be present in any of the highlight reels to come, which yes, I am working on actively right now. I know I haven't released any of them. I know I said I was going to. Just bear in mind that when we run streams, those of you who have not joined us, we run for hours. We go for 7, 8, sometimes even up to 9-ish hours at a shot, which means sifting through all of that recording footage takes a long time. I'm more or less now just going to sift through as much as I can and then set aside essentially 15 minutes worth of highlight material, and then once I reach that mark, I'll just release that as an episode. I'm not going to worry about trying to do a highlight reel for each stream. That is just going to be too much to try and cull stuff out. But anyway, that's all back-end stuff that is probably boring the hell out of you, so we'll move on to more thank yous and credits. So in that spirit, once again, a thank you to Jack Gritolsson. I think I may have pronounced it right this time. Maybe. I try to pronounce it really, really quickly. That way I don't get hung up upon the little nuances of pronunciation. But anyway, he donated Saints Row 3 to me, rather Saints Row the 3rd, after noting that it was on sale during the Steam Summer Sale and that it was #1 on my Steam wishlist, and was gracious enough to gift that to me. So as much as I've really, really been wanting to cover that, that will be coming up as far as coverage here on the channel pretty soon as well. Next up, a thank you to one of our younger viewers, Donovan DeCoster, who donated Payday 2 to me. And this one, I was completely at a loss for because I did not see that coming. And I actually did do a video on a free weekend quite a while back for Payday 2, and I was rather critical of the game. So to see someone who wanted to see a little bit more of my take on it, despite the fact that I was rather harsh on the game originally, to me is really telling. Like, that is an investiture of faith that I'm not just going to bash on things, and that you guys have the maturity and respect of not just me, but of just critique in general enough to want to hear all sides of game coverage, and that is awesome. Last on our list here, I apologize in advance. This is another foreign name for me. I'm a Texas boy. I don't pronounce none of them foreign names too good. Jan Pospisil? Is that anywhere at all close to correct? For donating Vampire the Masquerade, one of the games that has actually been recommended and requested for me to play here on the channel several times. Jan was just the first. I think it's Jan. I don't think it's Jan, even though that's how it's spelled. But he was the first to request it. Several of you have also echoed that sentiment, and once again during Steam Summer Sale, saw it was on sale, gifted it to me via Steam. Thank you so very, very much. That will be coming up soon as well. And in light of all of those donations, like, I may be a big guy with beard and the macho and the ego, but every single time that I received those donations, every single time, no exaggeration here, I was moved damn near to tears by it, because I recognize that, at least to me, I don't know whether or not it's the way that you guys even look at it, but to me, that is not just a monetary investiture. That is an investment of faith and confidence in our ability to deliver what you guys want, to entertain you, to inform you, and to create an amazingly just generous and positive community. If you guys are this generous for me, essentially a talking ego with a beard, a talking beard with an ego the size of Texas. I had that all planned out to sound clever, and there I went and just bollocksed it all up, but oh well. I can only imagine how amazing you guys will be, how many awesomely good things that you guys can do for the world once we start reaching the size and the spectrum that we need before we can start doing charity drives. When there's an actual worthy cause beyond just me for you guys to actually do good things for, I have the utmost faith in you guys' ability to really change the world for the better, to be a positive force for good in the gaming community. And that is everything I've wanted for this community to be. Now then, in light of all of those donations, let's move on to a little bit more channel news here. Due to those donations and due to the sudden slew of requests for a lot of different things that I've been receiving lately, I will be revising our upcoming content schedule. I had a lot of things planned ahead of time, some of which for months now, that I will either be shelving entirely, not many of those, mind you, and a lot of others that I will be delaying in lieu of some of the things that you guys have made clear that you would like to see here on the channel. I've always been about listening to our audience and giving you all a real say in what we do, and that is exactly what I'm doing right now in terms of revising content. Now don't worry, nothing current is going away. So Stalker fans, Kerbal fans, Minecraft Madness fans, Turbo Dismount fans, and Mod Spotlight fans alike, no worries, no need to worry. I'll be burning the candle at both ends for a while now to make sure that I keep up content across the board. That does mean that we may be going up to 2 or 3 episodes a day once we reach certain projects that I'll mention here in a moment, but it's all worth it. This is always enormous amounts of work, but it is a labor of love, and we are finally starting to actually move forward in awesome ways with it, so I'm more excited than ever to put in more work than ever to keep this rolling and to keep you guys excited about the content that we're producing. Now, the #1 by far request that I've been receiving on damn near every single Fallout New Vegas Mod Spotlight video that I create, and even on several others, is a request, or rather, a series of requests for a Fallout New Vegas Let's Play. And I always intended to do one, but I had it in mind to do later, once I had gotten better at the whole Let's Play thing, which I still really just kind of consider myself an amateur at. There are much better people at Let's Plays than me. Go watch Markiplier and Jacksepticeye for those. I tend to really, I think, shine when I do Mod Spotlights and things. I just have fun with Let's Plays, and thank you all for supporting me when I do them. But I'm going to try to break the mold a bit for this one. I've given it a lot of thought, and I decided that I didn't want for a Fallout New Vegas Let's Play to just go the same way as any of my others, which is to say, ordinary, just critical commentary the whole time as we roll. That's something that has been a tough thing for me to wrap my head around, is for open world titles in particular. I just, after explaining the basic mechanics of the game, tend to peter out in terms of my ability to commentate, because I don't know what to do if it's open world. Like, I tend to, I think, do better during more linear games in terms of commentary, but that's me being very introspective and self-analytical. So if you guys, like, seriously, I'm looking for honest feedback here. If you guys have feedback along those lines in terms of the way that my commentary goes, let me know. I would like to hear it. That way I know what you guys think I'm doing right, wrong, strongly, weakly, neutrally. I don't know. That's something I would be interested in reading in the comments below if you guys have any insights for me. But anyway, by doing something new with this series, what I mean is I'm going to actually try to bust my acting chops while I'm doing this Let's Play and conduct the entire thing in character. No face cam, I'm nixing that, straight on voice acting in character throughout the entire series, start to finish. I may do like little mini vlogs afterward if there's anything that I really want to comment on as myself and not as a character, but I don't know, that's going to be a case-by-case sort of thing. I've brought this idea up a couple of times on stream, and as always, got to plug my own stream. Friday nights, 7 o'clock Central Standard Time. Those of you who have not joined us, always invited, do please. And everybody that was a part of the stream communities that I've brought this up to and got some good fluid feedback from was really supportive of that idea. So those of you who are on the YouTube end of things, let me know if you guys like that idea. I'm pretty much set on doing it, so if nothing else, let me know what sorts of things you would like to see out of a series like that. Whether or not you would want me to really just kind of pursue the main storyline, whether you want me to really focus on doing DLCs, try and make my own story up with it. I'm probably going to fall somewhere in the middle of all of that anyway, because I do have a character in mind to play already. You guys already know what he looks like because he's going to be the same one that you've seen in most of my Mod Spotlight videos, but that you've not really seen or heard head, hide, or tail of when it comes to his background. Well, I fancy myself a writer, and as a lot of you guys know by now, I'm a pretty hardcore tabletop gamer. Well, Violita and I have established in the past a D20 tabletop Fallout setting, and he's one of my primary characters for it, so I can really get into his head very easily, but that's my plans for Fallout New Vegas. One of the other games that will be coming up new on the channel is, as I mentioned before, Payday 2. And like I mentioned, I'll admit, I was not terribly hooked by Payday 2 when I first played it during the free weekend some time ago. But by popular demand, seeing as Donovan is not the only one who has asked for more of that game, I will be addressing it. I don't know for how long, I don't know exactly how long that series will go, I don't know how many episodes it will be, but I am looking forward to investing more time into that game and getting a more in-depth look at it. And if I do find it to be more entertaining, then I may eventually, this is not a promise, mind you, this is strictly if I find these things, I may actually decide to do a full-on review of it to address the things that I think it does right and that it does wrong. From my experience in the free weekend, I think its UI is a major failing for the game, but I didn't really, I admit, get enough time with the gameplay itself to judge definitively whether or not the game plays well or poorly. And that's what I'm really looking forward to sinking my teeth into. Finally discerning its arcane and weird and indecipherable UI, and then actually getting a real look at the gameplay. So look forward to that sometime in the near future. Next up, also another of the donated games I will always, well, I don't want to say always because I don't want to set a potentially abusable precedent for myself, but I will always try, at least, to respect donations, especially if there are requests attached to them to feature them on the channel, when it comes to, you know, prioritizing what will be addressed first. I won't make that like a hard and fast rule, because there are some games that if they get donated to me I just don't like, and I don't want to feature games that I don't like because I don't want to be false. I don't want to try and force myself to make content, but a lot of you guys kind of know my taste in games anyway, so you've been donating things that I'll enjoy anyway. So next up is definitely going to be Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines. I've just gotten so many requests for this that you guys clearly want to see it, and I am happy to oblige. And the last couple of new things that are taking priority and precedent as far as upcoming content goes are, again, Dark Souls Prepare to Die Edition, which I will be featuring as soon as I can get my hands upon a gamepad, and Saints Row the Third. And it's this last one that I'm not really sure about yet. It'll definitely make its debut on the channel in the near future, but I am not really sure of the format that it will take. So before I really invest myself in any one format, I would like to hear you guys' feedback regarding what you would like to see in it. Do you want a full-on Let's Play of it? I know it's a pretty long game, so that would be a pretty significant commitment in terms of time and episodic material. Do you want highlight reels, the likes of what some folks like Jacksepticeye have done with games like Grand Theft Auto 5, in-game skits and comedies, which I know I haven't really done much on the channel, but I do have some ideas for a couple of other games. I could do a few of those. I don't know. Just let me know what you guys would like to see in terms of Saints Row the Third content. I know there's a lot of really great, awesome hilarity and nonsense and shenanigans to be had with that game. So those of you who have played it before, especially, let me know what you think the game would be most conducive to format-wise. Now, last up in terms of announcements of upcoming things, and all of this, by the way, I don't necessarily have hard and fast dates for. It's just as soon as I can get to these things, is Dino Week. I've had this one on the burner for several weeks now, pushing into over a month, and I keep getting derailed by other projects. New games get released, I get ideas for other things that I want to do before I lose my inspiration for it. Just a slew of things have kept me from really sparking this off. But I'm announcing it now to give myself some accountability by way of you guys, to make sure that I don't keep putting it off, because I do want to do it, and I want you guys to hold me to this standard. I don't have an exact launch date for it, but just keep reminding me of it if I don't do it within the next couple of weeks. It will be very soon. Throughout Dino Week, I've just gotten my hands upon several dinosaur-themed games by way of Steam sales, most of which under like $3. So I'll be featuring things like a Dino D-Day, Primal Carnage, Orion Dino Horde, as well as capping that whole thing off with the expose vlog, I don't know, special, kind of the same way as the Midas Touch series that I did quite a while back, regarding a corrupt indie title, Jurassic Planet. Used to be Jurassic Genetics. And I've mentioned this before in vlogs. This is how long I've had Dino Week rolling in the back of my mind. Some of you may recognize that from an older vlog. And that I think I may be a bit late in addressing now, because a lot of the pages regarding that game have been shut down. But I still feel it warrants a warning, if nothing else, than to let you guys know what the person behind this corrupt project, which is basically a scam, has been doing, so that if you see his name attached to any other attempts at scamming people in the indie game community, which I love and respect and have a great deal of appreciation for in the future, you'll know what to watch out for, what to avoid, and what to call out as just utter nonsense and a scam. So, that will be Dino Week, and when we do Dino Week, I'm going to try to do it a bit the way that we did the Slendython several months back, and try to do something Dino Week related, and then something from our usual lineup of content every day. That way, those who, for whatever reason, don't enjoy the theme content can still get a little bit of whatever it is they usually would have subscribed to the channel for. That way we're not alienating anybody. I think that's a good way to kind of balance both worlds while keeping up a themed week, because it's fun, why not? And now for something completely different. Rather than just giving you guys a little status update and an idea of what to expect from us in the future, some content news, I figured I would start spicing these milestone vlogs up a little bit, giving you guys something interesting each time. So I asked you guys rather last minute during our last stream what you would like to see me do for these milestone vlogs to make them more interesting, and because it was so last minute, I didn't really get many suggestions, and I went and just got distracted by things and didn't bring it back up by the end of the stream. So I decided to, because it doesn't take much time, I'll definitely put more time and effort into what I do in the future this way, just go and grab one of the many little questionnaire reblog things that Atticus tends to do a great deal upon his Tumblr page, and I picked several of the more interesting questions from one of the first ones that I found on his page to answer for you all right now. So, question the first. Where are you from? I am from Austin, Texas. Actually grew up for most of my life in Dripping Springs, Texas. Little podunk town that ain't so podunk anymore. It's growing up to just be a southern suburb of Austin. Technically speaking, I lived in Driftwood because I was within like a mile of that. But small town Texas, I guarantee it, never heard of it unless you're from Austin. Question the second. Has an anime ever made you cry? No. But a game has. And that game was Metal Gear Solid 3. What is a musical artist that you love that isn't well known? Vallejo! How would you describe your sense of humor? Dark and slow burning. This next question I've tweaked a little bit. It used to be inspiration behind your blog title. Well, now I've changed it to inspiration behind your channel title. This is a question I've received a couple of times and figured I would address here. Last Level Press got its name because, for one, I was at the time still trying to come up with good ideas for a mostly primarily gaming-centric online community. We always had it in mind early on to do film content as well as game content, but due to copyright issues, film kind of took a back seat in a big way to gaming. In terms of video content, we still feature a lot of anime, show, and film content in terms of print reviews at lastlevelpress.com proper, but video-wise, that's remaining rather scant, and until I can find a feasible way to keep from constantly coming under the inspection knife of copyright issues, that will probably remain the case. But anyway, Last Level Press comes from a sort of double entendre of sorts, in that it's just kind of got a nice catchy name for something gaming related, Last Levels, and we're press, because we were kind of news and journalistic oriented, as well as a somewhat more literal interpretation, because one of the primary motivators for us to get started in doing what we do, especially when it comes to our reviews, is to act as a counterpoint to the many, many other gaming journalistic outlets, the likes of IGN especially, and some others, that have clearly left journalistic integrity by the wayside. They are no longer level playing fields. So, because there are so few actual official, I guess you could call them like journalistic firms, I don't know, groups along those lines that actually do things on a relatively unbiased and even playing field, we decided to call ourselves the Last Level Press. Level meaning fair, flat, unbiased, unbought. And that's really the background behind our channel name. Now then, I've lost count of what number question we're on, but the next one is, if you could study anything, what would it be? Marine biology. Really, true story. I actually kind of regret not doing that in college, despite the fact that the one I went to had a really good marine biology program. I just didn't really realize that, and didn't really realize in myself that I had a great interest in that until I was 3 years into my own English degree. So, well, thing is what it is. If money was no object, where would you move to? New Zealand. Are you a good liar? No. Are you pursuing your dreams? I am now. Thank you all. Are you scared of the future? Fucking terrified! Are you happy with who you are? Much more so now than I used to be, but I recognize I've still got a long way to go. Are you a clean or messy person? Both. I tend to have very, very clean spaces, which tend to be my workspaces, and those where I keep things that I collect, the likes of tabletop books. Those I like to have immaculately organized. And then there are other living spaces with clothes on the floor and papers everywhere. So, yeah, it looks, even in my own personal spaces, even before I lived with anybody, like there would be multiple tenants living in any given place. No, it's just me. I've just got weird compartmentalized modes of thought when it comes to things I want to be organized versus things I don't care whether or not they are. How old are you? Honestly, I forget sometimes. I really do. That's one of those things that I don't care about. I've forgotten my own birthday before. All day, until at dinner, my own mom had to remind me, hey, it's your birthday! I'm like, oh yeah, it is. So, I'm 25, for those who care. How tall are you? 6'3", I'm a tall motherfucker. What is your zodiac sign? What's your sign, baby? I'm a Pisces. What's your lucky number? 3. What age do people usually mistake you for? Well, it depends upon exactly how full the beard is and whether or not I'm wearing glasses at the time, but usually some manner of 30-something. I've actually been getting that since I was a teenager, before I even had a beard. I actually got carded for the first time in years, like before I was even 21, just a couple of weeks ago, and it was weird. I was just like, wow, I've barely ever been carded before. And lastly, what's the longest you've ever gone without sleep? 52 hours, if I recall correctly. Yeah, it's a long time. You start to hallucinate after a while. I can confirm this. But that was a $20 bet that I earned. And that does it for this vlog. I've had a lot of fun with this one, especially this last part. These are the sorts of things that I want to do more of for future vlogs. I want to keep a lot more of the news that I bombarded you all with in the early half, or rather the early 2/3, I know that went on for a long time, of this particular vlog to their own sorts of segments, sort of just like channel updates. And then I want for milestone vlogs, as we grow as a community, as we achieve more, as we accomplish our goals, to be a bit more fun, to be like this, and for hopefully to get you guys laughing along with me and to get you guys involved. So, what I mean by that is, I did this spur of the moment. This was last decision, like, well, I want to do something fun. What can I do? And this is what I came up with. So, if you guys have any ideas, any requests for things that you would like to see along these lines for future milestone vlogs, things like lists of pet peeves, favorite games, favorite mods, I don't know, anything along those lines, let me know, because that's what I would like to hear. Just something interesting that I could do, little Ask Mr. Black story time with Mr. Black, I don't know, to make these more interesting. So, as always, I want to get more community feedback, more, what's the word I'm going for? I don't know, the word disappeared. Communication is what I'm going for. So that you guys have a say in what all goes on when it comes to official content, gaming content, and even silly stuff like this. So, thank you all for joining me, and thank you all for 500 subscribers here at Last Level Press. I'm Mr. Black, and as always, I wish you all good gaming, and Godspeed.